Hello and welcome to MotoGP Mac, where MotoGP fans congregate and fanboys fear to tread.
What's going on?
Great racing. Chris, you can't ask for any better. We got multiple teams in there who can win. Jostling around. What do you guys think about the Marquez? God, I'm waiting for the fanboys to cry about the Marquez getting hit by and Bagnaia hitting each other. That was just a racing
race incident. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Well, look, it went to the stewards, and for me, it went to the stewards. Both team managers were seen fucking pounding the pavement back from the stewards, so that normally meant that no one was fucking happy. But realistically, for me, they were both to blame. It was a racing incident. In my view.
I don't even know if they saw each other. Yeah,
when I saw it first, I was actually leaning a little bit more on Marquez.
Right.
And I'll tell you my thought process, right, was that he went wide. He knew Pecco was going to throw it up there. You know what I mean? You instinctively know it as a racer. Shit, I'm wide. I'm a good meter and a half offline.
Yeah.
You expect the person to be there. And even Crafar said it after. He said, like, Mark did try to close the door and squeeze the gap. Do you know what I mean? Now, saying that, when I rewatched it again after, right, where the two of them collided is just after what we call the bomb hole part of that corner. So when you go down into that corner, if you've ever ridden it, you'll understand. But as you go down, it just dips right before the middle of it, right? So even if Mark wanted to pick the bike up, no one would have the reactions, because everything you're actually going down that little bit more just before you start that rise where they actually touch. So for me, I don't even think Mark could have done it. If Pecco did nothing, he probably would have T-boned Mark in the middle of the corner.
Right. Anyway, yeah, that's what I thought.
If he didn't run up the inside again, do you know what I mean? He probably would have hit Mark. So for the people that were giving Marini shit last year, when he hit Bagnaia, or what's his name, Bastianini, that's kind like he lost the front and then hit. So for me, that was a racing incident, just like this one. Someone could. My view. Do you know?
You froze.
Did I? It was all going to end up in impact anyway.
Okay.
I don't know. So look, I don't actually think it's a major incident. They both scored no points when in a points position. I'm very very surprised that Pecco found himself in that position. Do you know what I mean? It was a very un-Pecco like race where he struggled from lap 7 or 8 with chatter big time.
Yeah, remember I texted you that. I said he looks bad. His rear end, the back of his bike looks unstable.
Yeah. No, I think that was because what he was trying to do there was he wasn't running normal lines. His normal lines, you could see Bastianini was out wider than he was, especially from lap 5 on. Pecco was trying to square it and sitting it into the fat part. So you knew he was suffering with something, some sort of chatter, because all he wanted to do was sit the bike up, which is very unlike him. So poor race, and that's all I'm going to say. And it really is like it was a poor race from Pecco. Do you know what I mean? Really, poor race. Like when you look at how he did in the sprint yesterday, very un-Pecco like. You know, again, very aggressive in the sprint. And then today's race, it was poor. You know, no, that's not saying that he was riding poor. It was just a poor race, if I'm honest.
Because that seems like a trend with Pecco. When they come out with a bike in the beginning of the year, if they have problems, that goes away. If it's a done deal and it's the next greatest thing since sliced bread, they seem to have run into problems. You know, some problem seems to creep up. You know?
Yeah. Look, I think it's always just some of these things, and maybe it's down to the tracks where they test that there's not enough variety in the tests for them to, and then they get into these tracks and you see it. But it was kind of, for me, it was kind of funny though, because today's results was the flip of what it would normally be. Normally, normally it's Martin running away with the sprint and Pecco running away with the main race. And yesterday it was like, you could see it yesterday. Martin did not have the pace. He just flat out didn't have it in him. Do you know what I mean? And they then, like, he was metronomic. You could not, like, even if Bastianini got a second wind, he wouldn't have caught him. Like, not a hope. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Look, I just thought it was a really, really good, interesting race weekend. I felt really sorry for Maverick. I will say that. Do you know what I mean? Like yesterday, and I fucking hate to burst people's bubbles on this. You're right, but yesterday's sprint race does not count as a manufacturer race.
Yeah.
Very sorry. I get it. I know it. That technically he crossed the line, but a sprint is not called the sprint race. It's not a GP,
Right.
and it does not count as a GP win. So, very sorry. Crash came out and said, "Oh, first one." It's like, sorry, lads. Do you know what I mean? He is the first one to win on 3 different manufacturers, but the record books still state that there is no one to win a MotoGP race on 3 different manufacturers, or with 3 different manufacturers, because the sprint is not.
I get that.
Now, so look, it sucks. I was delighted to see him do it, and I was gutted for him. Now, to be fair, I actually thought that he had an Alicia Spargaro moment. Because the only part that I saw was him going wide, and next minute then the rear wheel locked. It was a problem with the gearbox, 5th and 6th gear. He was nursing it all race. Now, I
know what that is, by the way. That's trying to get horsepower. They try to lighten up the gears and try to get less friction. And then
but look, still, at the end of the day, man, one of those things, he was just lucky it happened where it happened.
Yeah.
Joe, what I mean? And
usually that happens when the things that in 6th gear at the end of the straightaway, when you're coming down off the gear.
200 mile an hour. Yeah. And look, he was fucking haunted. Obviously, look, Aprilia, you need to have a look at what actually happened there. He was nursing it all race, and it got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
But look, it was probably one of his best race weekends. And, there is no doubt in my mind that his seat is is under massive, massive jeopardy, or in massive, massive jeopardy. The end of the day, he was hired a couple of years ago to do a job that he's got nowhere near. And lads, look, winning one sprint race doesn't cut the fucking mustard. You know what I mean? He needs a couple of race wins this season.
Yeah,
but
with consistency, not just one and then 5 races later another one too. It has to be consistent, like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, but he's also known for doing this, like when he's under pressure, that he performs real pressure. Do you know what I mean? And as soon as, so like, is he a candidate that you would do say a Jack Miller type of thing of sign him on 1 year or 1 year deals only? Do you know what I mean? Keep him hungry.
Yeah.
Look, I think I felt very sorry for him. If I'm very honest, I don't like to see any rider lose their position in the last lap, especially to a mechanical. Little bit heartbreaking, but I suppose young Pedro, what a fucking boy, huh? What an absolute nutcase. And I was actually laughing because Sleepwalker texted me, shout out to my boy, during the race, and this is no doubt of what he said to me. I completely get what you mean about Acosta and the big one. LOL. He's wild and he'll get manners put on him at some point. And he will. You know what I mean? He's riding that bike to a level that's far beyond his years.
Yes.
Right. But showing people what can be done when you have zero fear or zero respect.
Yes.
Which is great until it fucking bites them.
Yes. We've all been with that rider too. Yeah, all of us have been in a group ride, and you got that one that goes, the guy's going like a barrel set out of hell, and it's never went down, and you can see his tires underneath him, and they're all squishy and going all over the place. And then he goes down, and he looks like a bent puppy when he gets up. Like, what happened? What happened? How did that happen?
You've been on the limit the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, saying that, he was fucking epic. Absolutely.
Oh,
epic.
yes.
Like, going past Marc Marquez, Mark was like, you could see it. He was like, oh, fuck. Do you know what I mean? You could just see it in his helmet. And when he went past, Mark tried to snap back at him, and he was like, nah, not going to happen, honey. Do you know what I mean? Forget it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Take a look at my ass, because that's the only thing that you're going to be looking at from now on, you know? And then when he went past Pecco, I thought he was very, 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 very... Okay, obviously it took him a couple of goals going past Pecco. And he said it after, his favorite pass was passing Pecco.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it would be, Joe.
Right. It's champ.
But when he passed him, especially into turn 3, the pass there, he just hung Pecco up slightly. Do you know what I mean? On the outside. Like, Pecco had him. Pecco had the overrun. But he was just so smart enough just to stand Pecco up slightly. I thought, you're ahead of your years here. Do you know what I mean? You know what's going on. But I would actually say that he is probably further ahead of bike control than I ever saw Marquez. Like, some of the corners he was taking there.
I don't know. That's a tall order, but
it's not. No, you could see the front was sliding, the rear was sliding, his knee was on the ground, and then he was just. It never looked panicked. It never looked frantic. He never looked hustling the bike, even though that the bike was fucking dancing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It was like Marquez was all kind of action. This guy it was just by looking at it, you would be hard pushed to say that he was not sitting in the car with his arm out the window having a chilling, relaxing drive. There was no like fucking biting or, you know, everything was like thing. And, you know, I will have to say, you know, he's definitely woken me up. But still, I know that bang is coming. And when that bang does come, I think then we'll see his level. But do I think he's pushed the level a bit further? 100%. And, you know, I think KTM factory have now understood, and don't get me wrong, Brad Binder is a very, very fast, very, 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 very fast rider. And we've also called him alien status and whatever.
We call him on the cusp.
Yeah. And but this is what a real alien does. He's just naturally.
Yes,
like
that's an alien. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You get a good bike and you get an alien rider. Now, look, Acosta could come out for the rest of the season and do no better than 10th, right? And he would still have a great season. Do you know what I mean? But I think that the lad just has natural ability that I don't think we'll have seen how good he is yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it didn't show. I'm not ashamed to say that I held out on him until MotoGP because I wanted to see how much he'd fill in, if he had his body weight would fill in. Okay. And he looks better on a GP bike than he did on a Moto2 bike, where Marquez you could see him coming a mile away with a Moto2 bike.
Yeah, you could. But look, again, it's all great till you have a proper crash, and let's see when he has that proper crash of that egg beater of a crash. Like when you look at it, even like Jorge Martin, when he had that egg beater of a crash going through turn 7 in Portimao, that woke him up. That fucking said you can really fucking hurt yourself off these. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But no, look, I think.
What about Anea though? I wonder if that shoulder blade incident woke him up. But I wonder if that was his. What do you call your egg beater?
Like you have the big bang where you seriously hurt yourself, and it's those weeks that you're sitting at home and that you're not able to ride, reliving that accident again and again and again and again and again. And I don't know if you've ever crashed a bike and broke bones, but you know, when this happened to me, and I'm sitting there for a couple of weeks, I'm like, I feel like the first 2 or 3 weeks, don't even fucking show me a motorbike. I don't even want to fucking see one. Do you know what I mean? And
no, I jumped. I went right back on. I went right on.
Not if you're breaking fucking bones properly, Jake. You won't get fucking.
Yeah.
I didn't break it properly. I just cracked.
But sure, fucking look.
No. I broke my back. I gave it that. I split it, but it didn't, and it was vertical. I split the whole vertebrae vertically. You know.
Yeah, but you're not going to get back on a bike and go racing. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, because there was no way. I didn't have there was not. No, I couldn't. It was impossible.
But that's what I mean. So you're sitting at home and pissing in a fucking bucket or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, is this fucking worth it? Do I need to fucking do it? And then your bones there to fucking feel better, and you can stand up and have a piss yourself. Do you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, that fucking. All right, so we go back racing. And that's what I call like the women and giving birth syndrome that men have. Do you know what I mean? That's the equivalent to it of all the pain and struggle you go through, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go back and do the same fucking thing that hurt me in the first place. You know, like makes no sense. But
I'm the worst. I can hardly walk because of it. I just kept going back and back and back and back and back. You know.
But anyway, I just think, I think Acosta is going to be.
No,
I'm really excited to see how he is after the bang. I don't want him to have a bang, but it's coming, of course.
The interview afterwards, just when they were, the third, second, first, or the first, the interview right after the race, and he said, "What do you think about the bike?" Right, and he goes, right off the bat, he goes, "Oh, it needs this needs improvement. This needs improvement. This needs." He starts going off this laundry list. And for a second there, he sounded like the most unappreciative person, like a spoiled brat kid. And he goes, but they helped me so, these guys work so hard. It must be the way they speak, because you turn that right around. It's like, no, they really work so hard.
But you always have to take into account, especially with people where English wouldn't be their first native language.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It must be the way they speak.
Because like Maverick had an interview after, and he was talking about it, and he's like, I need everyone in the factory, all the technicians, to be working as hard as possible to bring me all the updates that I want. Do you know what I mean? But what he actually meant was all the updates that we need to do to the bike. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't. But if you were looking at it, you could kind of say, and this is where those channels get the confusion.
Yeah,
is because they take things, as they say, about Google Translate, fucking, you know what I mean? But anyway, I thought Acosta. No, Fabio Quartararo.
My boy. Yeah. I got a guy call me. I never told you. I have a guy that says he's Fabio Quartararo. He's been.
Oh, man.
Called me forever. Yeah, but anyhow, can't be.
Is his number an Andorran number or a French number?
What?
Is his number an Andorran number or is it a French number?
I don't know. It's on Facebook.
He wants advice from you. He's trying to get advice.
Yeah, he just said he would make stuff like what we said on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah,
it doesn't come all the time. It just comes out of nowhere. Like
So Fabio didn't have a bad weekend, didn't have a great weekend, but my understanding is Fabio is very, very happy around the paddock.
I get it.
Yep. Okay.
I get it.
What you get?
That's his people's. That's his crew, and he doesn't want to start over. And they're making progress. I think that's all he wanted was just progress. He didn't say, "Hey, put me on the podium." He was like, "Hey, we have to make progress here. If we're not making progress, I got to go."
So what progress do they make?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's
depending on how you look at it. Depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
I think he's signed.
Yeah. Yes.
The mind games.
What they said is that they look that he looks enlightened.
Yeah.
So
whether you don't realize how long ago this was. This has been going on.
No, he does. To be fair, Like
CB, it's been years. I said CB might not know it because
how long he's been like looking for it out or what?
looking for these improvements. It's been
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know how long. It's been 3 years now.
before 2021. Yeah, before he won the whole thing. I think he was looking for. He called this a mile away. He said, "Hey, we don't have what it takes. Even though we're winning, we don't have what it takes. We got to do something." Like he's been saying that for a long time.
Yeah, they reckon that he signed a new deal, either a new deal with Yamaha or a new deal with Aprilia. That is the rumor in the paddock as of today.
Well,
now,
if he's smiling, I'm sure it ain't with Yamaha.
Now, you see, what I did forget was that Argentina was supposed to be on in 2 weeks' time, and that race is not going ahead, so it's 3 weeks to the next race.
I know. What the
Coda.
So I think there could have been a bit of a scrambling this weekend to get contracts done already for next year, because there's not going to be a lot of whispers in the paddocks for 3 weeks now. Like the next time they get together is Coda.
Yeah.
In your big ass Texas. Yeah. Although
you don't realize I don't like rednecks.
I love rednecks. I love them. Hey, Paul. I love rednecks. My brother-in-law actually calls me an Irish redneck. So
yeah, you like NASCAR. Good.
I love NASCAR. Hey, Paul, I'm turning left. I love it.
My daddy says I'm the best kisser in the county.
Oh man, that's the truth.
You would take it to a new level, Jake, wouldn't you? Yeah. But look, I thought the race was good. Now the only bugbear that I do have, right? Okay, was that for the last 5 or 6 laps they just focused on Marquez and Pecco. And I was just like, there's fucking more going on. You know what I mean? Which, okay, it did happen with whatever it was 2 laps to go or whatever. I get it, but it's just, I thought Mav was closing in on, and he was on from the timing. I could see he was closing in, and I thought, but look, I thought it was good. But anyway, Fabio, I don't know. I didn't see any really major improvement. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's be fair. If the 3 didn't go out in front of him, he would have finished 10th. Do you know what I mean? Finishing 7th when people crash out in front of you is not. It's not what the doctor ordered. Do you know what I mean? When you look at it, go back 2 or 3 years, they were winning around the circuit. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's a circuit that, because the last corner is high speed, it doesn't kill the inline 4. Right? They're supposed to be the fastest things down the chute. Just didn't see it, like, do you know what I mean? And the corners.
When has anybody said that the inline 4 is supposed to be the fastest thing down the chute?
It is down the chute, yeah. They have in tests, they had the highest top speed.
I mean, you can. There's no reason that an inline 4 shouldn't match a V4 for horsepower. It just doesn't hold up, No. What my point is that the inline 4 and the V4. They accelerate in 2 completely different ways, right? And coming down the chute in Portimao, because the corner is a long, arcing, open corner. It does not kill the inline 4 because it's already in 3rd or 4th or 5th gear. Right. Throttle is wide open, so there's no major acceleration thing. Right. It's already accelerated. Right.
It's already accelerated, and it's on towards the top end of it, right? Which there is no major difference. So, but it's just like, and the corners, there's only 2 really high speed corners. Maybe one really Craig Jones corner. That's the only kind of high speed corner where the downforce would maybe the last corner, but I don't think so with the drop. Do you know what I mean? If that last corner was a flat corner, you could say, yeah, okay. But with the drop, so it's just like mechanically the Yamaha isn't even there yet either. Do you know what I mean? Like, but look, saying that, I suppose the positives for Yamaha out of it was. But
I'm glad. I'll tell you what. I'm glad that they got Rins because I want to see that. I have a soft spot for the inline 4 to keep going. So I want to see it. Yeah,
I think it will. Well, it definitely will till 2027. Anyway, so yeah.
What's going on with him though? He keeps dropping off. I know.
Yeah, it Rins.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look, he just like it's very easy in a test to have okay pace and this, that, and the other, right? But when you get very angry and all go racing, like I expected Marquez maybe as I said, 5th, 6th place, right? While he gets to understand that bike in a race thing. And I still don't think he fully does. Do you know what I mean? Like I could see an awful lot of him forcing the front of that bike into the corner. Do you know what I mean? Where he can. So I think it's just adapting that style. Like I think a good one for Rins is next race, Kota. He's always performed well there. That's where I would judge him and say, okay, this is where you are. Do you know what I mean? Like if he's battling for 12th or 13th place again, which would have been 15th, then it's definitely not good, so I think it'll be quite interesting to see what exactly happens with them, with Rins.
Before I forget, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I keep forgetting to tell you that the guy that runs the Moto Matters site, he's been around forever. He's real good. He knows his stuff, right? Love to get him on. He did say that Pedro Acosta he's the 4th guy to use the same style as Freddie Spencer and Kenny Roberts Sr. and Marquez. And
I don't think so. I don't think he has. I don't think his style is the same as Marquez's. I don't think so at all. I think that
I haven't seen it long enough, or had seen anything where it's panned out. You can see, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But like even that, like I haven't seen anyone's style like Acosta's. I don't think, like watching him going through turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Now I know this track fucking intimately well, like Joe. I've had a piss in every single fucking corner, right? So like I know it. I've spent a couple of minutes looking at every single corner, and how he is going through there. Like and then even then with
those three mix the two styles together. The European, where it's long and loopy, long and drawn out, and the American dirt track style, where it's cuts it off and it's like a V.
No, but Marquez doesn't do long and loopy.
No, he doesn't, but he does. He
doesn't. No,
he goes in fast. But I'm saying in the fact that he still goes in fast.
Goes in way no.
He
goes in fast, but he goes tight. Marquez does.
Yeah, that's right. He goes in. So he'll go in fast, but he still goes in tight.
But that's not loop,
no. He's like still keep a fast, keep the speed up on the apex, like the you know what I'm saying.
I get what you mean, but Mark goes in and Mark pushes the front end through. But that's not a looping style, like Joseph.
I know it isn't. That's why I said they combine. He combines the two.
But no, but it's not even that. Like even if you were doing a loop, you'd never go in like that, because what Mark is using is the front end of the bike to slow things down, right? Which if you're going to go in on a loop or an arc, you have all your braking done on all of that, and the bike's set on a wider trajectory. You're not going to drive the front wheel into the ground. So Mark's style is pretty unique. I wouldn't even call Mark's style like. Mark's style like.
It's really hard to explain. It's like a
I think, but it's And I think that's where those alien statuses come, is that these guys have developed their own style that is completely different to everything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like if you look at Acosta today, he did things on that KTM that the two KTM factory riders, I can guarantee you tonight, they're sitting down with their fucking wives going,
Yeah.
How is he?
How they doing?
How's he doing
Look
that?
at Marquez, they did the same thing, and Kenny Roberts Sr. They said did the same thing. And
but they're all their styles are different. Their approach. Like if you did a split screen with them all going into a corner, the exact same corner, right? Completely different. Do you know what I mean? But unique to their style, you know. And
he's way ahead.
But that's where I think Mark is struggling. And not struggling in race wise, but I think mentally struggling with the Ducati is that he knows what he wants, right? And he knows what he wants to do with the bike, but then the bike knows what it wants as well. And the two of them are not there yet, you know. And yes,
it's very hard to train reflexes. Is a very hard thing to change.
Oh, it is 100%. But look, I think it's just. But where Acosta's come onto it, and he's like, "I'm just going to fucking ride it." Do you know what I mean?
Because she's not changing his reflexes, his trained reflexes.
He's learning
that way, you know.
Yeah, but he's learning. He's learning. Like, how would I say? He does not know what a good MotoGP bike feels like.
Who? Mark
Acosta.
Acosta. Well, I don't know.
How does he know what a good? He's only ridden one fucking bike.
Yeah, but it's a good bike.
How do you know?
Well, look at the other riders.
Would he go faster on a Ducati?
We don't know. I don't know, but
you don't know.
But that's my point. Like he doesn't know any different. So he's going in there and he's like, okay. Whereas Mark's mentality is like, this is not really what I wanted to do.
He's trying to make it. He's trying to make it into. He's trying to make it to his style, but no, his style needs to change to that bike.
So it's like this, right? Acosta is a young fella in a nightclub who wants to fuck, right? Where Mark is a middle-aged man who's looking for a wife.
Yeah,
so Mark is trying to make it perfect, saying she needs to have this, and Acosta is like, one night stand will do me.
He's having fun. He wants to have fun.
He's pretty fucking ugly. Yeah, I think anything will do him. That's for sure.
But that's kind of the way I think it is, right? Now, Costa's coming in and he's done this and he's done that. He will have a bang, and it'll be interesting to see after the bang. But Mark, I still think there's a lot more to come from Mark on the Ducati. You know, and look, I did see a video that during the week that Mark is supposed to be in for the factory Ducati seat.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah,
I think it was one of them bullshit.
Oh, it is one of those bullshit ones. And look, what Tardozzi said is any rider is in for.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
If you're performing to the highest standard of whatever it is, and we see your potential for years to come, you are definitely in for a shout. So any rider, and that's probably covering the other 19 riders that are on the grid that have an opportunity. Joe, I mean, I'm sure right now, if Luca Marini was offered to go back to VR46, he would take it with both hands.
Oh, hell yeah.
No.
He's struggling bad.
Now, look, to be fair, he fucking looped it in turn 3 in Jerez, the Marc Marquez corner in Jerez on Tuesday or Wednesday during the week. So he was pretty battered coming into Portimao anyway. But he was 2 seconds a lap off the pace.
Now, Marini didn't Marquez crash and still came back on the bike and still beat Marini?
Yep.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah.
You know,
wow.
Yeah, I noticed something. I want to ask you, especially since you're, what's 181 centimeters is what in regular? It's what's
1.8 meters.
Yes, right. I know that, but I rolled out the.
It's about 6 foot.
It's about 6 foot. Okay, I'm wondering about that new kid, the fair.
He had a great race today. Actually, he had a good race today.
Yeah, but I'm just worried about the.
Got a double on that penalty.
He's 18 years old. He's 70 centimeter or 70 kilograms, and he has a thick neck and looks pretty big boned. And I'm hoping that he doesn't grow himself out of the damn job.
No, he'd be all right. He'd be fine.
You know.
Yeah, like look, yeah, I think he'd be grand. I don't think there's any issues there. I really am interested to see, will he definitely go to Prabak though?
Well, the way they talked it, that's a done deal, supposedly.
No. So his contract, and just for everyone to hear, his contract is a Ducati contract.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah.
That's all.
Right. They
Under the team, he goes to TBC.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So now people are talking like it's done deal in Pramac, which it probably is, but it's not confirmed yet. Because I can put it to you this way, lads, and I'll be very, very genuine with this, right? And again, you look at the likes of Marquez or whatever, right? Who's out of contract? If Pramac turn around to Marquez and say, "Do you want to come with us for 2 years?"
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Mark's going to jump, right? Or maybe KTM. But like Joe, look,
I think he's going back to Honda. How about you?
No. That bike is. I don't want to say trash, but yeah.
And I still say Honda beats Yamaha. Everybody's saying no, and I said because Yamaha has stronger engineering. And I said when push comes to shove, that's why
engineering now has fuck all to do with it. The only reason Yamaha is ahead is Quattararo. Well, let's be fair with that, right? The only reason Yamaha are ahead is Quattararo, right?
Well, yes, instance, but I'm just saying it looks like Honda ain't going anywhere. So,
but no. Let's be fair. It's not because of engineering; it's because of Fabio, right? Rins finished behind. Do you know what I mean? So
at this point, I'm saying for the whole year.
Yeah, even for the whole year, for the whole year, it will be. I would say mainly Fabio's points will carry it. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's the difference. Like realistically, what we hoped for Honda was that they would get average riders, which they do have. Marini doesn't set the world alight. Taka Nakagami, well, look, he's just there by being Japanese.
Yeah,
let's be fair. And I get it. I understand it.
I do too.
Zarco.
No, that they're paying the bills. They can put whatever they want in there.
Yeah. Zarco. I still don't think, and even Luco Cecchinello has concerns over Zarco's 1 lap pace. Do you know what I mean? And like realistically, if you have concerns over someone's 1 lap pace, you have concerns over their will or want to push it to the absolute limit. Do you know what I mean? So for me, and then Mir, look, he is a genuine world champion. He won his world championship by consistency. Excuse me, not by winning races. He won 1 race. So look, he is a genuine world champion, but he is not, and is no point an alien. Do you know what I mean? So
no.
So I would think, like, if a Honda gets into the top 10, I'll fall over. Do you know what I mean? And that's being respectful. But then saying that, I do expect Fabio up in 5th or 6th place. Do you know what I mean? Don't expect Rins all the time up in 5th or 6th place. But I think a couple of things. I don't
know. I think Rins has potential to be up there in 5th or 6th place.
I maybe towards the end of the season, but I don't expect it to the first half.
Yeah, right. Not right now. He has to get used to it. You know what I mean? He has to get used to, the inline engine and everything else.
Yeah, look, he just has to get used to the Yamaha. And like you have to understand that probably, and I mean this with all due respect, as a Yamaha fan, Yamaha probably chassis and aero development wise is where Suzuki was.
Yeah.
But Suzuki's gone 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
It's behind.
And like that was kind of like I saw one of the comments.
I hope the engine development's came a little better because by the time Suzuki was 11, they were blown up, if you recall.
Yamaha though, Yamaha are not bringing out an engine development till the summer.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I said by the time Suzuki left, they're blowing their engines. I said I hope Yamaha's engines are coming along better than theirs.
Well, they are. Like Yamaha haven't blown an engine. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So
that we know of.
And well, no, we would have seen it, or we would have been told that they're down on their engines, and they're not. Do you know?
No, I never get any info on their. I don't know how the hell you get it, but I don't get any info on their.
I was gonna say I agree with you on the chassis part because their exhaust looks like the same exhaust Suzuki had before they left. Something like that.
They're running a new. Yeah, they're running a new exhaust this weekend. Actually, new Acura exhaust. How would I say? It's not as thick as the original one that they were running, kind of the wheelbarrow style. But you'll also notice it that that where it curves across the top, where it was curving up, there was a load of you could see in the first race you could see the wells to make the curve, and this one you can't see the wells either. So it's kind of, it is definitely different. Honda were actually running a new exhaust as well this weekend. I'm still trying to get pictures of the KTM where they put in the aluminium part into where the rider's feet were. So I don't know, is this that they were trying to strengthen or what? Now, the other thing that I found out.
Oh, KTM, by the way, is predicting that everyone will have a carbon chassis soon.
Oh, I think they will. I think it's a necessary evil now. Do you know what I mean? Like if they can save 10 kilos on a chassis,
yeah,
why not? Now, the reason KTM though they'd have to do it though is that they weren't using aluminium; they were using steel. Do you know what I mean? So. No, okay, it was 3D printed steel, but it's still steel. It's still heavy as fuck.
Steel. No, yes.
Did you know that Oland's are using Moto 2 for development of suspension for MotoGP?
No, I did not.
Yep.
Why Moto 2?
Because they can put more miles on Moto 2 than in MotoGP. Now, Moto 2 are still using aluminium cans on the thing, but they're using oval forks.
Okay.
Do you have any?
Well, can't they? It depends on who's running it, though, isn't it? Because in Moto 2, you can change your.
You can change it. No, you can change it. You can, but they're using oval cans on the lower stanchion part of it. So as it comes through the triple trees, it's
the oval shape,
and then after the bottom triple tree, it goes into an oval shape.
They did that years ago, and it kind of faded away. I don't wonder why that's.
So what they're actually hoping for is that it'll be super strong in braking, and it will slightly flex in cornering, so it will help your tires. So I thought it was interesting.
Yes,
that's where, because like realistically,
because I forgot all about that. So they did that years ago. I forgot all about it. Who the hell
didn't? So I was having a look at one there a close up the other day on Friday, I think it was, and I just thought, man, this is interesting.
Yeah, I think Nitron did that when they first pointed out their forks. And who's the other? Bitubo did it too. The oval, the oval sanction.
I don't know. Did Biturbo make stanchions though? I thought they were only rear end springs.
No. They make good. They make good front forks. They really do.
I thought they were just internals. But anyway,
and like I say, Nitron, they're the best bang for the buck out there for a street bike. I mean, they're incredible.
See, we're very lucky over here. We have a lot of the manufacturers.
Yeah, well, Nitron is from the UK.
Yeah, but we have Nitron, we have Maxton, we have what's the other one? We have all of them all.
I went through a few years of trying every different thing and have my guys go out and ride and see which ones were better, just out of curiosity, you know.
Yeah, but we have a lot of them, especially for the road racing. There's a lot of really good ones, and look, it's something amazing to be able to do that. You can take the rear shock out of your bike and the two front forks, tell your man your weight and what kind of style of riding that you do, and then he comes back and your bike is all of a sudden 10 times more dialed in, and it costs you maybe 1,500 quid. It's the best 1,500 quid you'll ever spend. You
better believe it.
Forget about putting 100 fucking horsepower extra onto your engine.
Yep.
Just get your chassis right, and away
you go to the track. Anybody who goes to a track day, and it costs a couple $100 from just to have it tuned in. Well worth it. Well worth it.
Even for the road, though. Even for the road, like
even for the road, right. I just say the track days because that's where the guys usually are. You know.
Yeah. I never trust someone at the track to do my bike, though.
But yeah,
so
the other section,
leave him in his lab to do his fucking the work.
Like
and it's done.
Yeah, but in America, like if I had to find somebody to do that, it wasn't, I wouldn't even know where to start if it wasn't at the track day. I wouldn't even know where to find a guy. I know they say they can do it over
is your friend.
You hear that?
Huh?
You hear Precise said they can do it over the phone. I don't.
Oh, hell no.
Computer. Yeah, they said they
can
do it the computer.
Like, I did hear about that. You send them your what is it? They have the computers on these bikes now, so I guess you send them that information from the bike to them, and they whatever,
So I know, no, lads, listen. You basically what you do is you give them access to your ECU or your whatever on your bike, right?
Oh, right.
And you literally sign into your ECU from your laptop, and then you give them control of your laptop.
Remote.
And they can do so then basically what they're doing is they're talking, they have control of your laptop. They can see. So yes, technically they can do that, but
now they also have it where you talk to the guy and you'll say, "Oh, you give him your height, your weight," and he'll tell you roughly how to run it in, for for your preload and all. And then you go out and ride. And then you tell him what you show him with your phone what the wear is on your tires, right? And then he gives you another. I thought that's kind of
that's bollocks. Right? Well, like I suppose it's not right. Like I'm a heavy set chap, right? So I know that the front springs will not really work for me, right? The standard front springs, right?
Yeah, I know.
So like. You're going to hit the bump stops on those, right? So, like for me, I know I'm taking those off, and I'm sending my shocks or my front fork and my shocks to K-Tech or whomever. I actually don't know. No, I actually got a Polish guy in Ireland to do it actually up the road for me. Best like €150 I ever spent in my life.
Yeah.
Out the back.
It's just the springs. You just changed the springs out.
He just changed the springs for me, and changed the spring in the rear, and then set it for me, and fucking night and day difference. But anyway, Augusto Fernandez, lads, he had a better race today. I actually thought he was going to be worse, but. He had a much better race, 11th, but still 20 seconds behind Acosta. And I actually don't think it's fair to start judging him against Acosta anymore, seeing as how Acosta has come in.
Acosta's different. He's a different.
Well,
he's an alien.
Yeah.
I know it's not about backing either, though. Fuck it, he's come in, he's blown. Acosta's walked into the fucking bar, kicked the door off the hinges, and like, bitches, I'm here. Like, do you know what I mean? Where Acosta walked in the door very quietly and said, "Hi, how are you?"
He came in like a test rider almost, or maybe he just came in like a normal guy. What do you think? He come in just as a normal rider, or let's just say average rider?
One guy's normal, one guy's an alien. It's
Yeah. Look,
you're comparing apples and oranges.
You are, yeah. Look. It's pretty clear that Augusto is a steady Eddie. Now, look, he was never. I never put him down as an alien. Do you know what I mean? But I think, especially look with the likes of Brad Binder, we thought Brad was on the cusp of being an alien, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Acosta's come in and said, "This is what a fucking alien is." Right? There's a next level. There's like now. Again, look, there is no doubt the talent is there. The maturity seems to be there.
Yeah.
But he has to go through that bang, and like Lorenzo went through it, Mark went through it. It took years for Mark to go through it, lads. Just so you know, do you know what I mean? It wasn't the it's not just like that. He's going to have this one big bang. Like if you look at it, like even in the likes of it, right? You had Rossi. And I always remember it. Joe in Misano broke his leg. Rossi was never the same animal after he broke.
No, he was not. No, he was not. That was when remember his father gave him hell and told him beforehand, do not no motocross, and he did it anyway. And he broke.
No, he didn't break his leg then at all. He broke his leg in Misano, crashed in Misano, and broke his leg.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Oh, it's a racetrack when he broke his leg when he was racing. Yeah,
when he was racing the bike.
Yeah, he also broke his like motocrossing.
Yeah, but he was still never like the 2010 in Misano, and he tried to come back from that. He was never. Remember, like he was he on the Ducati, but he still had the fucking crutch. Like
that's what I was thinking. It had to be. Was it Ducati? Yeah.
No, I think
he was on Yamaha. Yeah.
Okay.
But he was with I can tell you before he broke that leg, you could see he was definitely faster than Lorenzo. You could see a definite.
Yeah.
When you go in, who's going to win? It was going to be Rossi. When he came out of that, you didn't know who was going to win. You didn't know if it was going to be a Rossi or Lorenzo was going to pull it off.
Yeah, and then look when we saw it with Jorge Lorenzo. Jorge came in, and I actually think it was the crash in Laguna Seca when he tried to touch the moon with his legs. He threw himself too.
That one, yes.
I think that was his moment. Do you know what I mean? No,
I think this moment was his broken collarbone.
You see, kind of. I don't know because that was after when he broke the collarbone in Assen and flew off.
Yeah, he said it was hurting so bad he was crying, and it was.
Yeah, but that was after that crash.
Okay, all right.
Assen was probably one of the greatest races I ever saw him do. To be fair, and then like Stoner had a big one. Like they all, and then Marquez arm. Do you know what I mean? And they're not the same beast after they have that big one. Do you know what I mean? And that's where I hope for Acosta that he doesn't have a big one, obviously. But when he does crash, that how he bounces back, because like Marquez, even he says it himself. He's like, I'm not the same Marquez. Do you know what I mean? I'm not the same. Like I'll never be as fast as I was. And that's more so that I think that fear, or not fear, healthy fear, I'll call it.
Yeah, normal process of fear.
Yeah. So
a lot of these guys, they don't like when they start out. Especially when they start out, they don't have fear. And I'm saying it's not bravery; they just lack it. They lack the emotion of fear. They're like a child. Children, don't like. Have you ever seen a kid race on the racetrack and they're 3 years old or 4 or 5 or little ones? They don't think of I can get hurt, I can get killed. They just think of boom, crash, and I get pizza afterwards. Okay.
Yeah.
To them, they're indestructible. There's no such thing as death. After the show, I'll tell you a big star I had a problem with in Delaware one time. I don't want to say it on air because of that.
But yeah, you're like, look, you are right. Look, there is that thing of that you're walking in there, but also there's kind of that Superman persona that I suppose it comes from winning races, that you're going out and you're crashing on a Saturday, you're waking up Sunday morning and you're fucking flying. Do you know what I mean? And you win the race and you're like, yeah, look, this is part of it, and you accept it. And like, listen, look, lads, we all accept it the minute we throw our leg over the bike, that a fucking car might pull out in front of us or this, that, and the other. But like that's not the point. The point kind of is like these guys are going to the extra limit of limit. Like listen, like if you ever watch the MotoGP rider go through a corner and then maybe 2 days later you try and go through that corner, you are going nowhere near as fast.
Yes.
It is. You are actually fucking pathetic compared to what they are, right?
I tried that at Pocono, and I just went. I crashed so hard that the forks ripped off the fucking bike. Excuse my language.
So, but look, that's like. But what my kind of point here is like, you know, we're nowhere near their level, right? And we have nowhere near their mindset of like this is fun, but this is just, you know, if I crash it and fucking destroy it, I go back and I get my spare one and we go again. And that's the mindset. It's not that but there is a necessary fear there, because you see them all kind of not afraid, but they all have their rituals. And I always
Marquez in pre-session is on the Ducati. He just went there and he had the high speed low side. Did you see that? And he slid across, and he went from the tarmac, and then he slid on the gravel, and he just got right up, and he started walking into the the pits, and they show him sitting down there just talking like we're talking here. Oh yeah. He just came off at 200 miles or 180 miles an hour. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I've never been to that situation. I've crashed many.
But you see,
I never got to the point where I went, "Hey, no big deal."
Yeah, but it's like, but you were never in a competitive field like they were on a motorbike.
Right.
Let's turn it around here. That someone punched in the face 10 times.
No, I wouldn't bother. Yeah.
And then 15 minutes later, like, that's I kind of in a boxing match to get punched. It's an expected.
It wouldn't bother me. If somebody take a poke at me, it's like, yeah, so what,
Yeah. So it's kind of like the ebb and flow of that, but it's just like when he went off through turn 15, myself and turn 15 have a very special kind of thing, where I nearly rolled a transit van going around that corner. We got now she is 2.5 tons, but I got her up onto the two wheels.
Tons of love.
Yeah. I swear to God, I'll be honest, right? I shat myself I didn't shit myself, but I was really scared. I thought we were gone, like. But we went up onto two wheels, which we should never have been, and that I don't know how we didn't. We ended up in the gravel trap where Max went through and got onto the scooter and went up. I did find it funny that he was brought home by a Works Lenovo Ducati scooter.
Yeah.
But it's like these guys, they all have their rituals of how to settle their nerves and this and that before when they're getting on. I don't know, if you ever watch.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they had a ritual like that.
They all have their little thing that they do. Like, and I give you an example.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I think his tolerance is maybe high. Like his pain tolerance is, or he's just so used to crashing so much. Like he's.
Yeah. Well, look. Their suits and their armor. Look. They wouldn't be like they wouldn't be like off the peg ones that we buy. Do you know what I mean? That would burn. Like they would have extra padding within the elbow to deflect that. But if you ever watch, so like for example, Pecco Bagnaia has when he's sitting on the grid, right, and everyone has left him, right, he'll start rubbing the tank with his hands like that.
Yeah.
Right, and then he'll give it a kiss, and that's like talking to the bike, and he's like in a kind of a way, but it's actually not talking to the bike. It's actually a little thing that he's doing to calm himself and what's going
Rossi
on.
was big on that, remember?
Like superstitious.
No, but it's like superstitious is kind of a thing of like Rossi. I would call Rossi's one more of
Rossi's one
was a superstition where he would hold on to the, like before the race he would sit down by the front fork, and before he got onto the bike that he would hold on to the foot peg.
What is he praying or something? Because it seems like he's kind of like talking to himself or something.
Like definitely before the race one, that was one where he was going through the first corners and this, that, and the other, and this plan and whatever. But it was also kind of hiding away from the cameras, and do you know what I mean? Except, sure, look, they used to be looking at him, but it's kind of like I know you don't watch BSB, but Tommy Bridewell, whose brother Ollie Bridewell was killed in BSB, but Tommy talks to Ollie when everyone leaves but like when everyone is around, I call that a superstition. Do you know what I mean? But when you're there and it's only you and the bike, that's kind of like just a little ritual. Then, do you know what I mean? But like you'd see your man and he'd be looking up to the sky, talking to his brother, saying da 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 or whatever it is, keep you safe or whatever. But I just always find Pecco's one very funny because it's the kind of position that he's in for slick, right? And then he's rubbing around the side of the tank. It looks like that he's rubbing a woman. Do you know what I mean? And then he gives me, and I'm just like, oh.
That's why he wants that extra tight pipe.
Exactly. No, but look, I think it's good. Look, I think Portimao definitely 100% delivered. I think Honda, like, they scored points, and they genuinely scored points today. I made a mistake in the.
What did you say, Mac? What did you say now at the beginning of the year? No more excuses. They have no more excuses. None. That's it. It's when I say they have weak engineering and the fanboys go, oh, no more excuses. You got to put up.
Yeah, but it's a Yamaha, and look, this is my problem, Jay. Yamaha aren't using those concessions that they're given.
That's just their own freaking fault, and I don't think Honda's using them either.
Did you just not hear me say?
But
did you just not hear me saying that they were testing during the week with Marini and he looped it in turn 3 and hurt?
Yeah, I would say they're using it, but I would think that they would be using it 24/7 in their situation.
But they can't, Jake. They have only a certain number of tires.
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking, but yeah, you're right. But even with the engine, something, I would think they'd be there 24/7 around doing something. For Christ's sake.
I think they are. I think Honda are being more proactive than Yamaha, and like, okay, this bike is not as bad as last year's bike, right? Even by all of them, they're like, right. You know, like we all know, and look, I will be very honest. I don't expect Honda to show a good vein of form until the summer, right? I would say a better vein of form, right? It's not going to be a night and day difference, right? I'm very concerned about Yamaha because Yamaha aren't testing. They're not using those concessions.
When and the welfare has to stop. I'm sorry.
What welfare?
The welfare has to stop. There has to be a point where you say, you got to stand on your own 2 feet. We're not going to duck. Which, the one thing that pisses me off is when they cut Ducati's testing time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't cut anybody else's stuff, at least. You know what I mean? At minimum. Don't cut anybody else's tech and innovation. Don't, and they have to stand on their own 2 feet. They just can't keep saying, I want more,
But every manufacturer got more and Ducati got nothing. So it's
but they shouldn't do that to anybody. It's not just that Ducati loving or hating, but no one should that. They shouldn't do that to anybody. Because China's coming in. The next GP bike will be China. You bet your bottom dollar will be.
I think it's going to be BMW.
I heard that too.
You think so?
I don't know how true it is. I don't know how true it is.
So wrong, Mac. My God.
You see they had that BMW, the M1000 on the track before the race. It's like, what's the deal with that? Why do they have the bike just sitting out there?
So they have so the safety cars and medical cars and all of that are done by BMW. Mm-hmm. So there's normally 2 or 3 M1000 RRs there. For the likes of I don't know, you don't have it, but like Neil Hodgins for one does a track guide using a thing. So he does a couple of laps.
You buddy.
On that, and he talks you through what's the corners and the elevations. Crafar does it as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's my buddy.
So that's why those bikes are there. But those bikes go off, I think, like 3 minutes ahead of the safety car before the race starts. So it's kind of a sponsorship thing. But just so people know and get an understanding why I believe that BMW will be the next ones in. BMW Motor have changed the CEO or the chief operating officer or whatever it is.
Operations,
and he is a major MotoGP fan.
Oh, is he?
But also,
just so he stays there long enough. They always seem to change that position. Like Christ, every couple of years they change it. Change him.
And I think that's by design, so that the company doesn't always stay stagnant into the one thing. Which is a good thing. You know
That's a good thing. Yeah, I didn't know they stayed, or I didn't know they were rotating.
But they tend to rotate or get them in and get them out.
But they do stay, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they stay within the fold, but they go to different
Oh,
areas.
okay. When you see them gone, I'm assuming they're gone.
No, 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 no. Like for example, there was one executive on the board. He's not no particular thing, but then he was on the board of Audi or whatever it was, Audi and Porsche or Volkswagen, and then he got pushed over to be the CEO of fucking Audi Formula One team that's coming up in 2 years. Do you know what I mean? So it's all these kind of things. We call it here jobs for the boys. Do you know what I mean? They take care of each other. But this guy anyway basically was saying, that he knows how valuable MotoGP is. He was kind of questioning World Superbikes a lot in the way of like, are they really getting value for money out of it? Like yes and no. Do you know what I mean? Would and it's a really good question. Would a MotoGP team do 10 times or do much better for sales of the motorbike than a World Superbike team?
I don't think so.
I think so.
Yeah, but MotoGP, when Suzuki left MotoGP, their sales dropped 30%.
Yeah, well, look, you're not comparing apples with apples there.
Yeah,
right?
they're not in World Superbike though.
No.
Yeah, so they left. So we'll be fair on that one, Jake. Right? When they left racing, they left all of racing. Do you know what I mean? They left all their works teams go, right? So that's very different. But I think I suppose the exposure that's coming from MotoGP, that your product or that the stuff that's feeding down to your road bikes is the next generation of technology, right? And like he's aware of what and what he said was that like he was aware of like what MotoGP could do for BMW, what BMW could do for MotoGP, all of this stuff. So he said, which his previous counterpart said, the MotoGP was not on the cards. He's like, the options are open for it. So I believe there's already talk with Dorna, and I think this is probably why Dorna were so steadfast. I don't think we'll get a Chinese MotoGP bike, or I think if we do, it'll be a branded or a badging exercise rather than anything else. Although I will admit,
well, QJ with Benelli are already. They just started in Supersport. QJ Benelli, they make Benelli. QJ, they make Benelli.
But KTM are putting in their RC9 into Supersport next year.
Yeah, well, that's different than this is a different group than.
I know that, but my point is that the Supersport and that is kind of like an open gate now. Do you know what I mean? Like you have today, I think is it a Chinese bike, the Coroni or whatever, that finished second in Moto 2 today. So there was interesting. Also,
that's right. Because somebody has it. QJ is also in.
I do want to give a massive shout out to Aaron Canet.
Yes,
what a boy! I absolutely was delighted to see him cross the line. First win.
Oh, he got his first win. I didn't see that.
His first win was today.
Oh, congratulations!
His first Moto 2 win. Because he's struggling with like that boy does deserve, in my view, did deserve a shot at MotoGP. The fact that he had tattoos all over his fucking body.
Is that the main reason why he's not in MotoGP?
I think so. Yeah. Look, like if he had one or two tattoos, right? But the fella is fucking covered head to toe.
At least it's not on his face, though. It's not on his.
Yeah, but
if it was on his face, I could see that. But it's just
it's up to here.
It's right under his jawline. He can't hide it with a collar.
It's a mess.
Man, come on.
It looks. I think it looks cool, right? But for some, and this is why he used to wear the Dickie bow. Do you know what I mean?
And
was like, you can still be posh. Do you know what I mean? And have tattoos, which he's right. But
I think they didn't like that either. They didn't like that bow tie thing. Like they let him do it, but they Somebody said,
no, they told him cut it out.
Yeah.
That was an odd bow tie too. It was a piece of wood.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Oh, man.
Wood.
It was probably expensive wood,
No,
but no, I thought he was brilliant.
Mhm.
And then the other shout out that I really want to give to is Top Wreck. What an absolute fucking legend.
Oh yeah.
He pulled off a Rossi in Catalonia. I don't know, did you see it?
Yeah.
I saw a highlight. He's hungry. I like it. We kind of knew he would,
but
he would be up there.
It's not even the race win. He passed Bautista in the last corner in Catalonia.
Yep.
There's only one up to that stage. There was only one person that did that, and that was Valentino Rossi. Now, I will admit, I did watch the Super Sport 300 today. Okay. And last corner, last lap, for second place, a fella did it as well. So I was just like, boom. Do you know what I mean? Fucking London buses. Fair play to you. We were spoiled with racing this weekend, lads. There was so much to watch. With Formula 1 at 5 a.m. this morning. And then we had...
we are spoiled. You know that? I mean, when you go back and you say, and people go, the glory days of the 90s, okay? We have as much past shit going on now than we had then.
Yeah, we do. But you see, we now have so much access to it. Like,
now we're used to it. You know, now it sounds...
Well, no, we have the access. Like, like I stream every year the TT, right? And how I stream it is how I actually used to listen to it. Yeah. So I used to tune in. I used to tune into the radio, and like I used to tell herself and whatever, fuck off, don't come near me for the next 3 hours, right? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And I would listen to it, and all it was, right, was that the radio station would be set up at different points around the track. And as they're coming there, do you know what I mean? Another commentator would take over. So as you would listen, so like in the 6 laps, you'd hear a commentator, and he'd be like, "Oh, and here comes McGuinness, and McGuinness is through the lap bridge now." And do you know what I mean? And they know the time that he started from there to there. They used to do the stopwatch.
You had commentators. I had Cycle News, the newspaper. I got to see pictures. Okay, I had a thumb it up to the dealership 20 miles away, and I was a teenager.
Oh no, but this was like I was tuning into long wave radios to pick it up, the local radio station in the Isle of Man. That's how bad it was. Now they have the Isle of Man. You can watch it on they have an app and everything that you can watch it on now. But I still find myself going back to the old way of listening to it.
You know what? You can imagine in your head.
You can exactly. You're seeing a picture now, which is class. Look, it's brilliant. But for me, when I'm listening to the Isle of Man, really, like I have the headset on, so I can't hear anything else, and you hear the bikes roaring into the thing, and it's picking up the microphone on the side of the track with the commentators trying to talk. Right? Do you know what I mean? And he's like. And like he's talking, next thing you hear, like you have no idea what your man is saying.
There was only one race on TV, and that was the Daytona. And sometimes you get a MOA, the sister race of it. And by the way, I want to clear something up so you don't think I was nuts. When I said Gold Wings and they had trailers, I didn't mean that the Gold Wing had a trailer. I was shocked about it. Was that I had still people going down from Pennsylvania to say to Daytona, and they'll carry their Gold Wing on a trailer. They'll have a pickup truck, and then
but that would be normal as well. That like so for example,
that's the point of having a Gold Wing if you have it on a trailer. For God's sake,
I know that, but like for example. I live right down the southern end of the country. So if I was going to the northwest, say for example, right, it's a 600 mile. Right. So it's what 400, maybe 500 miles. I ain't fucking doing that in an R6, lads.
No, but if you had a Gold Wing, you would.
Huh?
But if you had a Gold Wing, you would. You wouldn't put a Gold Wing on a trailer and haul it down there.
It would depend how long I'm going there for. Like if I was going up there for for a week or 10 days,
Yeah.
I wouldn't drive it. If I was going up there for 2 days and I could fit the shit in my bag or on the bike, no problem. Do you know what I mean? It would just depend. Because again, a lot of these places, especially for the Northwest, it is a big bike zone, right? Like you do see the odd couple of gold wings up there with the trailers on the back, and
yeah, I didn't think they sold them here. I didn't think they sold gold wings in Europe.
Yeah,
the American thing.
No. But like again, and then it was like fellas with the choppers and the hardtails and all of this. You know, a lot of them trailer the bikes to things because their fucking spine would be destroyed.
That must be what it is. They've done it a couple of times and they're like, I'm gonna save my spine and back and shoulders. And
I did it. My spine is shot. It's already shot. I can't get any worse.
Yeah, but look again, like the first.
You know what the best touring bike I've ever had? And I've had a gold wing. I've had everything, right? Just try it out.
BMW.
The touring scooters, the 500-pound scooters that have one cylinder, that are like one giant scooter that you sit like a barcode lounger, and it has 40 horsepower. Well, mine does. That's the most horsepower of one, right?
500 cc's and it has 40 horsepower.
It's 400 cc. It has 40 horsepower.
I had a fucking go-kart that had more horsepower than that.
Yeah.
And it was like 125 cc.
Well, but this is a scooter, for God's sake.
This is a go-kart.
Yeah. Well, it's not for racing. I mean, it's for comfort. It's for
So when you get to a hill, do you push?
It has it'll go 90 miles an hour.
Downhill.
No, flat. It'll go 90 miles an hour.
Really?
But I'm touring with the thing, right? It's like, I mean, it's the most comfortable goddamn thing I ever walked.
I know, man.
And it's not. See, the problem with a gold wing is it's so damn big. It's so heavy. It's like
that thing is heavy.
Yeah. This, I got all the comfort and not all the. It might weigh 500 pounds, but it's not 900 pounds. You know what I mean?
40 horsepower though.
You really don't need it. I mean, the Suzuki Bergman is a 650, and that has 50 horsepower. It's a scooter. It even has scooter transmission, automatic.
Automatic, okay.
And it doesn't even have swing arms. It has this scooter.
But you mean it just has it's like a centrifugal clutch or what?
Yeah, centrifugal clutch. Yeah, and like the pivot. You don't have a swing arm. The pivot is.
I know.
In front of your engine, and the engine and the transmission all move like this, right? So the bike splits in the middle, right, between the two wheelbase, the wheelbase. So it's so comfy because you can run over a body and not know it. Now handling sucks because you can't feel shit underneath you. When it's
comfort,
cushy, yeah. So, but why have something that costs $30,000? Right? That's literally 1,000 pounds and 6 cylinders. If I can jump through the same thing or even more comfortable on something, it costs $7,000 brand new.
Of 40 horsepower.
But 40 horsepower. That's just killing you, isn't it? I know, but I have other bikes have 200 plus. You know what I mean? So if I'm gonna go jump on.
Think they can bump it up? Is it reliability? They turn it down for that. You can drive it.
It only has
100,000 miles.
One cylinder of raw power.
40 horsepower though.
Yeah.
Reliability.
Yeah. No, it's just 40 horsepower.
40 fucking horsepower. That's embarrassing though.
Oh, Dave, I'll tell you, you got to give them credit on these guys. They call them cannonballers. They take 160 cc scooters, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Put a trailer on that damn thing.
Yeah.
Now the thing maxes out at like 55 mile an hour.
Yeah.
160 cc's. They'll go across the country. They'll go 3,000 miles in one direction.
Well, yeah,
but that has, guess how many horsepower that has? 12.
Less. Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet you it probably goes faster, and you can feel the front end.
No.
Are you talking like a Vespa?
Look, the Honda PCX 160. I think you can look it up.
That thing must have cruise control.
The things cost like $5,500 or $6,000. I don't know how Honda's keeping herself afloat. The Sim ones, the Taiwanese ones cost a little more than half, and they held up better. The Honda ones are blowing the freak up, and the Taiwanese ones are
actually. As you talk about Honda there, right?
Yeah.
Did you see the So you know how I don't like to read articles or watch stuff on bikes, but MCN, Motorcycle News, did a big review of the new Honda Fireblade.
I know, I saw it,
and they're saying it's a pretty fucking good bike.
Yeah, they said that.
Everybody's saying that.
Yeah, they said that the first time it came out in MCN.
Yeah,
then the other sites went. It has less mid range than the other one did, and they say it is more comfortable.
But look, like the other side of the coin, right? Like we can't compare how the Honda does in World Superbikes or anything really, except for bog standard racing bikes or racing series.
The new, by the way, the new comes out the 2024, the Honda CBX RRR. Okay, it's still below all the
but look, anyone's
all the Euro
enough,
bikes and the Yamaha and the Kawasaki. It's still battling it out for last.
But look, 90% of their sales of the CBRR or CBRR are that bike. No. Majority of Honda's superbike sales would be for the RR, not the triple R.
No, I didn't read that. You're shitting me.
The triple R is very rare to see.
Yeah, I only seen like 2 of them in like.
I've seen 4 and 3. One was in the dealership. The other 3 were blown up on the side of the road. That's where it got.
That's horrible.
I think I've only ever seen one triple R. I've never seen.
They have an inherent heat problem.
I have a Honda dealer down here, and I think he has only ever seen 2.
Yeah, they have a really bad heat problem, and they can't get it.
How many do they produce?
$34,000 or somewhere, $32,000 or $34,000. If I can buy a Ducati or a BMW for the same money, you know which one I'm getting.
Yeah, but look, I think that, but I think this the standard base model, which is, how would I say, is Honda's bread and butter. Those are the ones that you judge. You don't judge the triple R's, because that's judging the fucking the special Panigale, that's judging the BMW M. They're separate classes, because in my view, your standard.
The Europeans have beaten the Japanese in every comparison for the past 16 years. I didn't even say that. Some guy goes, I said, it's all the super. No, it's every bike. It's every bike. And I
need to start watching some of these ones now, because, look, I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, look, there's definitely more toys on Euro bikes, 100%.
No, what happened was it was the big crash with the in Japan. They haven't even they have not recovered from the crash.
They might have, but right just after the crash, I'm fairly confident to say, just after that crash, the new R1 was developed.
Yeah, but see, the money was already there for that one.
No, they would have developed that in 2012 to drop it out for 2015.
They say they had that. I looked into that. They say they had that in the works for the longest time. They said they had that, in the works, and it was already spent money. It was like it was like the Empire State Building got built.
But
Great Depression, the money was already there.
Yeah, I get you. I get you on that. But I just think if Yamaha, which every Japanese company during that crash was hemorrhaging and canceling fucking everything. Like, you look at Honda, they pulled out of Formula One during that. Do you know what I mean? Which is their
did that? I didn't know.
Which is their biggest world sponsorship or promo thing, where and they pulled the plug on that. I think it was 2010. Yeah, 2010, and Braun went on to win it that year. You put in $100 million, and they had to already commit the $100 million anyway, but they didn't want the branding and whatever. But look, I must start watching some of them because I was impressed.
Another killer one was the CB 500, Honda CB 500. Now that's a bread and butter bike, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it got blown out of the water from comparisons with the CF Moto 400.
I heard it's great for wheelies, though.
It's great for wheelies. I have no idea about that, but
what the CB 500 realistically, lads, right? Let's be fucking fair. It wouldn't pull the skin off the fucking sausage, right?
Yeah, but they sell a lot of them. That's a bread and butter bike.
But that's what I mean.
Why aren't they watching tending the store? Is what I'm saying. As a businessman,
my point that's a fucking around bike. Do you know what I mean? That people would have just to fucking screw around and not take seriously. Do you know what I mean?
It's like that Grom. They sell a lot of those Groms, don't they? I've seen a lot of them. I don't know what the deal is about them, but
they're selling the shit out of the M1000. The BMWs, anything with with those fins, anything with the aero packages are selling like crazy. Bikes with aero packages are selling like nuts.
I actually met a BMW M with the big, which I'm actually going to call a snowplow on the front of it. Right?
That thing is
huge.
Right?
It's huge,
right? And I met him in a garage in Carricktool, right? And I was coming out of the store and he was coming in and he took off the helmet and I just said to him, I said, "Can you feel it?" And he's like,
"Oh," they go, "Yeah."
Not really.
Oh, he didn't? He didn't.
Okay.
Most guys
he's not going fast enough. He's not going fast enough to feel it.
So I said, I just asked him, I said, "Are you embarrassed?"
Oh, you would.
Because actually there was
what's the number one bike sport bike sold in Europe? The Aprilia 660, yes.
Yeah, I know that.
And the RSV4, they put the aero package on that. Boom, sales went through the roof.
But the RSV4 doesn't look like a snowplow.
No, it doesn't. But you can barely even buy them. The Rizoma mirrors that they make that are supposed to look like wings. You ever see those? You replace your mirror, right? And they're flat. They're like these flat. They're like
Aero mirrors. It's like
mirrors.
A BMW
$400. They're like $400 freaking dollars. I was like, you got to be kidding me! And I can't believe you can see out of it. I can't believe you can see something behind you.
They're worthless. I had some of them, but a version of them, and it was worthless.
I struggle changing to a fucking double bubble windscreen. Do you know what I mean?
Now you like the double bubble windscreen so you can see. You can see the.
No, it's just because I'm so fat that I need to hide behind the wind more. Do you know what I mean?
I love that. I love that thing. That double bubble.
Yeah.
Double bubble. Yeah.
Because I don't like to tuck in a lot. I like to just sit.
You're fucking lazy.
I am. You're right. I am.
And I'm just so fucking big. I mean, like I said.
But you see the side of the roads that I ride here. Like there is zero room for fucking error. Like, do you know what I mean? If you're, you need. So, look, aero. It might look cool when your bike is standing still, lads, but I'm not sold on it on the road at all.
No, I got mine when I went to get my bike, my Ducati. I got $6,000, ended up $5,000 off because I went with the 2019 instead of the 2020 because it didn't have the aero.
Yeah, look, this all comes down to people's personalization, right? And look, don't get me wrong, right? I think people driving around in standard cars, fair enough. Someone driving around in a modified car that looks fucking stupid, in my opinion, to them might look the fucking bee's fucking knees, right? Do you know what I mean? The cat's pajamas, and more power to them.
But I love the rider aids, though. I do love the rider aids. That make you ride better. I do love those rider aids, man.
Yeah,
especially when you get screwed up. But
I have Bazaz on my R6, and the only time I ever use what I will call a rider aid is that I change the mapping of the engine for wet and dry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, and that's just to take the peakiness slightly off Realistically, does it make much difference? Probably not, lads.
Oh,
No,
not in the rain. If it's
you gotta
raining,
get back into a Ducati or V4S, right? And you into the new BMW S1000R before the tree huggers come and take everything away. Because it's coming.
And that's what I find very funny about the whole Euro 5 thing, right? I don't know, do you know this, right? But in Ireland, there's no test that you have to do for your motorbike at all, ever.
For emissions, right?
For emissions, none.
Yeah, we don't have it either.
same as here, same as US.
So, like, I can go away and get a Harley frame or whatever and build my own fucking custom bike.
Yep, I did it.
I don't have to put it through any tech tests or fuck all. Don't have to meet any emissions or fuck all or whatever. I can do whatever modifications to the exhaust, for example, that I want to do. So, like a proper biker over here will look at a person's exhaust and know exactly are they a proper biker, or they have all the gear and no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Because one of the first things you do as a biker is you get rid of the big dirty fucking cat that's sitting underneath your thing. So you look for the straight through pipes and stuff. But I think, but it's funny that the R1 is being sold into Europe due to the emissions.
Yeah.
When we don't have any tests for
I was gonna say that sounds like a load of crap, man. Like.
Yeah. And the one place you can't throw trash and screw up the environment is the ocean. Okay. If you really open up science books and you start reading into science, the place you can't screw with is the ocean. Where do they throw their shit? The ocean.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, well, anyway, back to MotoGP news. The last thing I suppose we go through, obviously, look, there's no Argentina, so we're 3 weeks out from Kota. I will probably be drinking during that one because it'll be on late in the evening, so that podcast should be fairly entertaining. Or not. I don't think it's possible. I could swear more in that one, actually. I think overall, what I've taken from today, Acosta, he is definitely an alien.
Yeah, he is a real article. He's the genuine article.
He is. He seems to be. Let's see how he heads the bang. I think Pecco underperformed today. If I'm very, very honest and brutally honest with him.
But he said he messed up. He said he messed up, right?
And I'll say this: we'll pat our own backs here, Mac. When we saw Bagnaia originally, remember we used to say that he's not a good tester. His testing is intermittent. He remember every time he changed the tire at the last moment, you knew the bike was, there was going to be a bad race for him. If he tested, if he changed his tires out, you were like, oh no, don't do that, don't touch it. We used to make jokes, put black and yellow tape around it.
Yeah, but I know. I just don't think he had the pace this weekend. It was just simply as that he just wasn't fast enough. I don't think there's anything there magic. I think he came in, but the boys just raised the level in the.
But he's saying that there's a problem with the bike. Remember, he's saying
that all he said was that he got chatter from that.
Chatter. He says he's having chatter, and it's gonna.
But he said he made a mistake though on Saturday.
Saturday was
So today, did he make another mistake, or is you saying it's just the bike?
According to his interview after, he said that from lap 7 on or lap 5 on or something, he was having chatter and he couldn't dial it out. So, and then our Saturday's one, he blamed that the lap before, as soon as he hit the brakes, the rear came up.
Right.
Because the petrol was going down, or the bike was getting.
Oh, everything's going forward.
So, and he was just losing feeling, and then the bike snapped.
No weight on the rear.
Yeah. No, look, it was a fucking scary snap. To be very honest, it's definitely one of those ones where when that bike could come down, it could have fucking pinged him back off as well. Do you know what I mean? So he was lucky. I thought Martin was epic. I thought in today's race, he did a Pecco in my opinion. he solved the problems of yesterday and delivered them today. Obviously, Vinales, Alicia Spargaro, I think it's kind of funny because like he was the one that was the great hope in Aprilia, and he's had a fucking terrible weekend. Oliveira had an okay weekend also.
Jack and Brad, they did pretty good. They both finished right behind each other.
They did. I think it was actually a better weekend for Jack than for Brad. You know, obviously Brad crashed out in the sprint, but I think Brad is kind of expected in the top 5 now, where it's a nice to have for Jack. You know, but let's be very fair and very honest, lads. If Mav didn't do it or didn't have that issue, and the two boys stayed away, you know, they would have been far behind Acosta. Do you know what I mean? Which definitely is going to wake them up. Who else? Oliveira, okay-ish race. I wouldn't be writing home. He did want the top 10. Obviously, with the 3 going out in front, pushed him into that. But again, Honda's.
You got Bez though. You got VR46. Bez
was in. Bez was 6th. Oh yeah, 6th or 7th. Digi was 10th. Digi is a guy who's going to have to fucking watch it.
He's going to have to step up his game again.
Well, yeah, he's just looped it into. Yeah, he has looped it in 2 sprint races now and done okay in the main races, but he needs a good clean weekend in my view.
Alex is man. I wish he would just dial it in, man, and do what you got to do, man.
No, he's getting up there, pal. You know what I mean? His reflexes on the downside. Not, you know what I mean? He's on that downward slope. You go up. I hate
it for him.
You know what I mean? You'll notice you're 31 now. Yeah, you peaked, and you're going to start to go that 30 to 36 is going to be a kick in the ass, and then the real kick in the ass is going to come 36 to 42. That's when you really notice.
Yeah, but look, I think at the end of the day, look, you know, Aprilia. I have a feeling Aprilia are going to take a different route in the works team next season. Do I expect both of those riders to be there? I don't. I'll be very honest with that. So, like with that, then like you have the likes of Fabio. Like I actually think the next 3 weeks are really pivotal to what's going to happen. Like I do think that from Kota on, we're going to start getting announcements weekly of who's done this, who's done that, who's done the other. You know,
yeah.
Who's going where or what. So, look, I think it's going to be interesting. There's definitely loads to talk about. I'm going to try and get some stuff on the KTMs this week. See what I can find out of what they were actually doing. I did find it very weird though, and I will be very honest, right? That on Friday, Acosta and Binder did get all the updates. So they got the front aero update. They got the chassis update, and they got the rear aero update. But Jack didn't.
That's a sign right there.
Yeah, but why not?
But Jack was running them all then today.
Yeah, like why wouldn't you give it, unless he's moving to another company, unless somebody else signed him? Why wouldn't you give it to him? That's just more people to.
He may have though. He may have. If they're not going to offer him anything, he might as well just
come on. Who's picking up Jack right now?
I think Jack will be in gas next season. I still think.
Right. Yeah, I can see him doing that. He'd be a great tester. You know.
Jack has a great friend in the team with Francesco Guidotti, who was instrumental in bringing Jack there. And I don't think they're going to just bring him for 2 years and fuck him away. I don't think Guidotti would be like that. I think Guidotti will have the chat and say, listen, you're going to have a song in Gas before you leave. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think he's going to dump him, because Jack is that sort of guy that like I don't think Augusto Fernandez is going to be in there, and I think they're going to bring in a rookie next season, move Acosta up into thing. The only thing that could scuttle that, lads, and I suppose this is the burning question that we'll end today's podcast on. This is going to cause a fucking bit of eruption.
Yeah, that's what got us on this site. Remember?
Yeah. So
what got us exposing what got us going.
With Pedro Acosta performing the way he's performing, and potential to perform like this in the future, do KTM need Marc Marquez?
Nope.
No. Well,
do Ducati need Marc Marquez?
Ducati does, not KTM.
I don't think Ducati.
No, I don't see.
Well, they don't really need him, but you know.
I was gonna say if he doesn't jump up a level, they don't need him. That's not anybody. And I'm a Marquez fan. I'm not a hater by any stretch. Okay, but
it's an interesting.
Switch that style over to the rear bias tire, you know.
But no, but that's kind of like it is kind of an open question because look, realistically, in my view, I don't see Ducati kind of if they have Pecco and Martin.
Yeah,
I don't think they need Marc. Right, personally, I don't think Marc falls in with their. I think he's every opportunity to go there. But if Martin wins the championship and they've already signed Pecco, then it would probably be Pramac, right? Which is still good.
He sells a lot of bikes, I bet.
He does, but you know, it's kind of like a no room of the inn sort of situation.
I know.
Ducati. And then there's no room in the inn because they've been there on a long-term contract.
Yep.
They would be if Acosta can perform like this, they'd be absolutely stone mad to leave him.
No, they're not. Yeah, they're not letting him loose.
Right. So that's another works team gone. Right.
They'll handcuff his ass to the wall.
I would say that we're fairly safe to cut Yamaha or Honda out of it.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that's 3 gone. So it's Aprilia or Yamaha. If he really wants,
he's not going to Yamaha.
Why not?
So it's Aprilia.
I feel like because of Uccio. I think
Uccio,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Uccio and Yamaha. They want to have a contract together. Uccio, VR46. So if Marquez goes to Yamaha, that's out the window.
Marc Marquez rating a VR46 Yamaha.
Hell no, that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen.
So I don't know. Remember, Ducati is not. They're getting a little worn about carrying 8 bikes still. They're more and more going. I don't want to keep these 8 bikes again.
But I suppose, Jake, the point of where I'm going with this is all rooms in the inn.
Yeah,
factory teams are almost full.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon Fabio is already in.
What I'm saying is, can they change the can the hotel change owners? Go from VR46 with Ducati to VR46 with Yamaha because Ducati's not.
Oh, I think they're
not liking the real estate, the location.
You see, but what I don't. Okay. So it will not go to VR46 Yamaha in the interim, right?
Right. I'm not saying it as a.
I think VR,
thing. I'm just saying
no.
Future, you know,
my point here is that VR46 Yamaha will still be a satellite team with factory equipment.
Oh yeah.
So therefore,
anyway,
what I'm saying is that the direct factory teams are going to be. Are potentially already full. So you have Ducati full. So where is Marc going to go? Because Acosta has thrown a bit of a stone into the works of the potential KTM bid.
It's only one place for him to go.
But you know what I was thinking?
Two.
It's Aprilia, a second seat at Aprilia, which I think Fabio is gone to Aprilia, lads. I'll put it out there now. I could be wrong, but that's my gut feeling.
You know, I was thinking though. Let's bounce this off you. You know, usually you don't have when they come out with a new model, so when they had the GP23 and they came out with the GP24, you usually don't have that big of a jump from what they're saying. You know, when they said the GP24, it improved in all areas. You don't usually hear that. You know, you hear it improved somewhat here or here. You don't hear this big jump the way they're talking about now, right?
Yeah.
So here's Marquez going, okay, I'm here. Next year I'm getting the 24. Is the 24 going to be that much different than the 25? Because it's rare that it's going to have 2 years in a row with these big jumps, okay?
Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
You know, what is
It's a mind game. I think it's a mind
it
game.
might behoove him just to stay where he's at, and because he's happy with being with his brother, too. And you know how family-oriented he is, you know?
Yeah, but look, I don't know whether Alex Marquez's time there is like he should be much more comfortable than Mark on the bike, and he's not. Like, you know,
He's not. Yes, he is. You're right.
Now, look, we know the 23 is a weird one. I think what they're meaning in the 23 to 24 is that it definitely gives you more feeling in all areas rather than improvement in all areas. And I think that the quote is improvement in feeling in all areas rather than that they've improved the areas that they can.
I just took it as just whatever it said. It said improved in all areas. I'm taking it as
Now,
you know?
we also do have to get to and be very fair in this, right? This is only the second race weekend of a 24, right? Mm-hmm. The people, like if we were to stop the clocks with 3 laps or 4 laps to go, right? You had Martin, you had Vinales, you had Bastianini, you had Pecco, you had Acosta, Pecco, and then Marquez, right? So realistically, if you looked at the Ducatis that were up the front, they were all 24s.
Yeah.
Mark was the first of the 23s. And Mark is getting on a 23s bike, very much so the same as Acosta.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That he doesn't know what a 22 feels like.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's just riding that. Okay, so he has no reference point. What he does, he kind of does. Look, let's be fair, but he doesn't really, like in race conditions, he doesn't have it. Like he's ridden a 22 at the last day of the test in Valencia and the first day test in Sepang. He did ride a 22 there, but still, I think he's he doesn't know any different on the Ducatis, where the others are kind of saying, okay, this feeling is here. But I expect those works Ducatis, the 24s, to get faster as they get dialed in. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And midpoint to summer point of it, I think we're going to see a big difference.
Yeah,
that's my 2 cents in it. So when they're saying that it's improved in all areas, it's in their infancy still.
What I want to know is who in God's name is going to be able to predict what Ion Bastianini does. He is like a light switch. He's on, he's off. He's the guy that saves tires, and then one day he's coming in 12th. The next day he's on pole position, and he outspeeds Martin and Pecco, and he's like all over.
I mean, he's consistent so far. Last year he got hurt, so that was kind of
he's consistent in being inconsistent. You know, look at him. Mm-hmm. He went from yesterday. All of a sudden he went from being lightning fast to the next day he's showing up and being 12th. The guy's been that way since day one.
Yeah, he was fifth last race, and he's second this race.
Yeah. The thing is, you'd hate to be a bookie and try to pin him down.
Yeah, you look at B grand. Look, I think he did really well this weekend. And I do genuinely hope he does enjoy Kota, lads. So I do expect better results out of him there too as well. So
and Pecco doesn't like Kota.
No.
Well, but you know what? The way I think I'm trying to get to is the way that he's been up, down, backwards, and forwards. I would think that would behoove Ducati to start looking more and more at Martin versus.
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
You're 100% right if Ducati are only worried about the results, but I don't think they're just worried about results. And this is personally just the vibe that I have is that yes, they want the best riders, but they don't want to fuck up the team either, right? And I still go along with this kind of feeling that
I would think that would keep
Martin's attitude publicly does not fall in line with what Lenovo Ducati want.
People seem to like him, though. I mean, he seems to be. I mean, the crowd seems to like him. It seems like he's a personable kind of guy. He is personable when he's personable. He has the big smile. Hey, what's going on? You know, and then he goes on a tantrum of I want my. But that's all in writing too. So I never heard him say I'm leaving if I don't get what I want. Not.
No, I have. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. Yeah,
okay, I've never heard him say that.
He has an attitude, man, and which I mean, he's confident, but I don't like Mac saying I don't think Ducati likes that because they would have chose him over Enea. You know,
that is the other thing that is still holding me back, right? There was some number of people that weren't for him when that decision was being made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And was that based on results, or was that based on potential, or was that based on attitude? We won't know, right? But I still think there's some reason there that they didn't choose him, and I'm wondering, is it that in my old company we used to have this? Are you a fit for this business business? And I think that there's something there with Ducati that they're.
Well, if you recall, at the time when they did pick Enea over Martin he couldn't get through a race. Remember, he would go 10 laps and crash. But
he had pace though. He had race pace, but he would always crash.
Yeah, never made the finish line. You know,
he didn't. He had flash in the pans and he was inconsistent. Like, now he's very, very consistent, but again. Is he a danger of being an Aleix Espargaro within the team? Is he a danger of you know?
Royal pain in the ass. Yeah.
No, not necessarily royal pain in the ass, but kind of, you know, if things aren't going his way, start fucking foaming at the mouth and doing all this shit that Aleix does. Like, we saw a mechanic made a mistake one time, and Aleix running into the pits and getting fucking straight into his face, like that shit. I get it. I understand pressures and tensions and everything run high, right?
Right.
But these guys, right, always have your back, right? And if they make a mistake, you know, not that you don't be pissed off or angry with them, but you certainly do not go up and get fucking stuck in them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In front of a public, and like, I'm surprised with Rivola.
That's the one you pull him to the side or you pull him out back. Hey, don't do that ever again.
But that's you see when that kind of stuff happens, everyone crowds in and tries to block. It seems like they're blocking the cameras from catching an eruption or whatever. And I've saw them do that with him. They covered it up. Aleix Espargaro, his team will not cover him up and they leave him exposed. And I guess it's because he's erupting and acting crazy and wild, but they won't protect him. They'll let him just when he made that mistake in Catalonia and he was all distraught, they covered him up. But when he erupts, they won't cover him up and they'll leave him out in the open and the camera catches him.
Yeah, but don't forget, he was the one that took Yamaha and ran the thing up in the middle in the public eye and ran 4,000 RPMs. And and if you're working there,
that was Vinales.
That was Vinales.
It mixed up. That was Vinales. But if he's one of them guys that he might turn on him, like they don't. A lot of people, if you get mad, they run away from you. If I'm mad, if he gets mad at the mechanic and they start, you know, to say, "Hey, calm down," and he turns on them and gives them shit. Okay, they'll leave you hanging out. Because they're scared.
But you know, at that stage, you need to knock them the fuck out.
You're right. Yes, exactly right. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, firstly, like these mechanics, right? They go there to do the best job. Like, there's not fucking one of them there that go in and go that are out in the fucking piss the night before, hung over to fuck getting that bike prepared. These guys are all professional guys doing things right. As a
It's a labor of love. You know what I mean?
But as a motorbike racer, you have to understand that sometimes they will make mistakes, and sometimes you will make mistakes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But with the Ducati situation, I feel like Gigi, he wants someone he can somewhat control, and he feels like he cannot control Martin. You know, so
Well, you have to control the people. I mean, that's your job.
yeah, but I feel like he's there's some doubt that he won't be able to control once he gives him that top position almost. He's gone. He's gonna take off. He's gonna do whatever he wants to do.
Then
And
you know,
so
yeah, it's not his job. You know, the old expression, you never let the animals run the zoo. Okay, when it's Gigi's job to run that pit and to run that team, not Martin's. Okay, so
will that happen if he gives him that Ducati Lenovo spot?
I don't know. He seems like a nice enough guy, but he does have, you know, it looks like he has the tendency to open his mouth too much. You know, like the threat, he could do without the threats, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, personally, like I never saw it personally. Like Mac said he has. I have never seen him say it personally. I just saw it on, you know, written on, you know, articles. You know, Martin says blah, 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 blah. So, but Mac says, I believe Mac. If Mac says it's true, I believe him.
Maybe it's the translation, like he's saying, like, because in his interviews, he sounds like he's like almost arrogant, but maybe that's the English translation of what he's saying. Martin.
He's just confident in himself and his abilities. But look, there is things like you don't come out and start saying, and like, how would I say, when people are coming out in the press and saying, I want that factory seat, or I deserve that and I'm going to get that, or if I don't get that, I'm going to go somewhere else. You know, that normally to me sends a message that there's trouble brewing because the internal discussions aren't going the way he wants it to go. So he's bringing it out into the public. Do you know what I mean? And that's, in my view, no way to do it. Do you know what I mean? And it's not the right way to do it.
This weekend, I hope that they pick me to go to the I'm wearing Ducati red next year.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Oh man, see, there you go.
Anyway, on that bombshell, lads, we will wrap it up for today, and sure, look, we will catch up again soon.
Okay. Take it easy, folks. It was a good.
Have a good one.